What up? It's Wall Street Hit My Line, and I'm about to hit your line with some talk. 'Cause this is what I do. It's just what I do. And today I want to talk about the number one overall pick in the 2024 NBA draft, Zacharrie Risacher. Hope you guys like my French accent. I've been working on it. I got a couple other words that I've been doing, like Goya, So I'm getting there. I need to learn some more French, though. Je m'appelle Wall Street. That's about it. But let's get down to it. So the 2024 NBA draft class was basically touted as the least talented class that we've seen in quite some time, since the 2013 NBA draft class where Anthony Bennett was the number one overall pick. And I always had a problem with this statement because I didn't think it was a bad draft class. I just thought it was a draft class where the talent is very close together and the talent is going to be unpredictable because a lot of these players are being drafted based on potential as opposed to coming in and immediately being a star player. Right? Like, none of these guys have come in and just been star players. I mean, maybe Jared McCain on some level, but he obviously, his season is basically over due to his meniscus injury. Get well soon, Jared. It was exciting to watch him for, the 25 games that he played for the Sixers this season, but I'm looking forward to seeing him, come back after a speedy and healthy recovery. So get well soon, Jared. But I want to talk about Zacharrie Risacher because I want to talk about what his ceiling is. And a lot of people have struggled to kind of find a player comp for him. And I think a player comp that I have found to be the most comparable is to Brandon Ingram. But I do think that Zacharrie Risacher is going to be better defensively than Brandon Ingram. And I think he's more athletic than Brandon Ingram. But they are both, in my mind, volume shooters. They take a lot of shots. They're scorers first, passers second, and both decent rebounders. I think Zacharrie Risacher is going to be a better rebounder overall, but they're similar players in my mind. So Brandon Ingram has a career average of 19.5 points per game, 47% from the field, and 36% from three for his career. Also shooting 78.8% from the free throw line for his career. So I think Zacharrie can get into that range for sure. I think it's just going to take time. And the situation that Zacharrie Risacher got drafted into was also a little unorthodox for a number one overall pick. It's very rare that you see a team that was as far back in the lottery standings as Atlanta was win the number one overall pick and frankly keep it. I feel like we don't see that happen a lot, where a team that's kind of on the verge of being a playoff team, they don't really want a number one overall pick unless it's, like if it's LeBron James or someone like that. But with everyone saying that this draft class was not good, even Trae Young went on Paul George's podcast and was saying, we don't think any of these guys are going to be stars. They're all coming in, being, touted as role players for their careers. And I personally thought when he said that, I was like, okay, well, he must know that the Hawks are trading this pick or something. But clearly that did not happen. Zacharrie Risacher has basically been a starter for the majority of the season. He's played 35 games for the Hawks so far this season and has started 33 of them, playing around 24 minutes per game, averaging 10.7 points per game, 3.4 rebounds per game, 1.2 assists, 0.8 steals, and 0.6 blocks. And his shooting percentages have not been great, but, Alex Sarr hasn't been a great shooter thus far into his career. He's gotten a lot better over the past couple of weeks. But Zacharrie Risacher is shooting 40% from the field on about 10 shots per game, 28% from three-point range, and he is shooting 70% from the free throw line. So he's not a star, but he's not a bad player, but I do think he can be a 20-point per game scorer in the league, right? I think he's just going to be an offensive, come into the game, just taking shot after shot and just, volume shooter. But I think he's going to continue to make more as his career progresses onward, right? I don't think he's going to be a Kevin Durant. I don't think he's going to be, like LeBron James. I don't think his game and his instincts are as well-rounded to kind of promote that more of an all-around feel from a player profile. But I think with Brandon Ingram, that comparison means a lot, because I think they're both tall wing players, can handle the ball pretty well, and can go end to end. They're just not going to be great defensive stoppers. Zacharrie Risacher has played decent defense though so far. He's not the best defender, but he's all right. But I think that's really his ceiling. I think he can be a 20 to 25 point per game scorer. I think he could make an all-star team or two, but I don't know if he's going to be an all-time great. Right. And that could change depending on the structure of the Atlanta Hawks team, or if Risacher gets traded somewhere else, or if he goes somewhere else in free agency. But obviously Trae Young is going to get the majority of those shots. And, Jalen Johnson's been unbelievable so far this season. If you guys haven't seen my video about Jalen Johnson, go check that out. It's just me, ranting about how great of a player he is and how good he's going to be in this league. But while you have those two guys there, Risacher is going to be your third option. He's not going to be this all-star level talent. And, a lot of that is going to depend on, are they winning? Because if they're not winning, Trae Young might be out the door, right? Whether if that's on his own free will or if the Hawks trade him. And if they do that, I wouldn't be surprised if they start trying to build around Zacharrie Risacher, because I do think he has a lot of potential. I just don't think he's going to be like this Hall of Fame player, right? But, not every number one overall pick is a Hall of Fame player, but I do believe most number one overall picks make an all-star team, in their time in the league. There's very few that haven't been all-stars. And, it's going to be interesting. But I do think he has a lot of potential. He's going to be really good. He's going to be a scoring, I should say he's going to be an elite scorer. And as long as he can get his shooting percentages up, say he shoots 48% from the field and 35% from three, he'll easily be in the 20 points per game range. He'll easily be there. So might take a year or two, but I like what I've seen so far. He's definitely not a bust. He's a good player. He plays hard, and he wants to win. And I think people, aren't paying any attention to him at all, which is quite interesting, just because, even when Anthony Bennett got drafted first overall, everyone was paying attention to him. But that might have been because he wasn't really playing well at all. So, but it'll be interesting to see how Zacharrie develops over the course of the next couple of seasons. Will be interesting to see where he's at. By the All-Star break, I'm sure we'll see him in the Rising Stars Challenge, and see where he's at the end of the season. So it's going to be interesting to see, his jump from year one to year two, and if the Hawks can also make a jump, next year, and kind of get out of this mediocrity zone that they're in. Right, I think they're only one game above 500 right now. They're probably going to be a playoff team, whether that's outright or through the play-in. Probably more likely through the play-in, but I do think they're a playoff team, and that'll be a good experience for Zacharrie. So. Should be exciting. Alex Sarr is definitely better, though. That's the unbiased Wizards fan in me talking. But I think Sarr's just got a little bit more potential. But Risacher is going to be good, too. So I want to know what you guys think, though, especially if you're an Atlanta Hawks fan. Let me know what you think about Zacharrie Risacher, your guys' top draft pick in the 2024 NBA Draft. Want to know your thoughts. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. If you're not already subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Without further ado, I'll catch you guys with the next one. Stay safe, take it easy, handle business, stand on business.